another CE News podcast. With us, we have Tony from Jamaica, but has been living in Poland for more than 10 years. And today we'll talk about a little bit about what Jamaica has brought to the world. Naturally, we have all heard about the music, the dancing, but there are also other things that Jamaica is bringing to the world.
Thanks for having me back. From Jamaica, yes, the coffee, for example. It's the Blue Mountain coffee. This is one of our main exports. Rum also you can count. Jamaica is also a big exporter of bauxite, which is used to make aluminum. And yeah, things like sugarcane, it's not as big as it was back in the day.
That was naturally the start of the economic trade in that part of the world, not just for Jamaica.
Yes. So this is to a lesser extent now.
And if we look at more cultural phenomenons, there is probably not a country in the world that has not heard about Bob Marley, for example.
Yes, so Bob Marley, I guess, is one of those people that definitely put Jamaica on the map. Jamaica is a very small island, but as you said, that they are almost everyone has either heard of Bob Marley to an extent, especially the older generation now.
And what about today? Who would you say is the main big star that people have heard about when it comes to music? And you go out of Jamaica, you are in a club, and all of a sudden some Jamaican artist comes on. Who would it be?
Yes, and so nowadays I guess you could say that Shaggy and then Sean Paul. These are the two main guys that made the crossover, let's say, from Jamaica into the more international scene. Jamaica has a lot of Buju Banton can be mentioned there.
Also, other exports is the phenomenon, so to say, of the Jamaican runners. We all remember Usain Bolt, but he was far from the only one. Asafa Powell, among the women, there's also a bunch of women that have taken medals and huge individual successes or team successes. Where does this athletic tradition come from in Jamaica?
Yeah. When it comes to the sprinters, the female ones, Merlin Ottey should be mentioned, and we have now Fraser Price. So yeah, they're always among the recipients of the gold, right, nowadays. But where does it come from? I guess maybe a combination of things. Could be just good genetics, the food. The food is natural, let's say, less processed than in other places. And, there's also, it's promoted from a young age. People are encouraged to participate in.
But how long back does this really go? Was there a phenomenon like this, for example, in the 70s or 80s, or this is something that developed a little bit later, the 90s and 2000s?
No, it does go. It does go all the way back. There were famous sprinters now, especially longer distances that were making their mark back in the day before let's say, Usain Bolt.
And speaking about Usain Bolt, what would you say about his status in Jamaica? How is he viewed by other Jamaicans? And also, was there this Usain Bolt effect that after his successes, all of a sudden, all of these 8 or 9-year-olds signed up for sprinting class or anything similar? Was there this craze that happened after his successes?
Yeah, he definitely put Jamaica even more on the map, for other things, because besides Bob Marley, we have now Usain Bolt, let's say, that's 100% Jamaican, bringing the culture. And afterwards, he in Jamaica, I guess he's viewed as someone who achieved a lot. He worked hard, and he put in his time. He was a champ coming up, as a school kid, In Jamaica, the teenage, let's say, the high school competitions, the athletic high school competitions, this is like a big phenomenon. So we have inter-school competitions, athletes competing It's even bigger than the football league, let's say, where people are more into it. So so when these youngsters see the Usain Bolt and what he has achieved, just being from Jamaica, they definitely know that it's possible, and they work hard, and this is why we see over and over Jamaica always competing.
And if we look at other parts of Jamaican exports, the music in general, not just individual artists, but for example, reggae back in the day, maybe dancehall a little bit more today, are both phenomena that have really swept the world. And I think that in the last 10 or 15 years, it's becoming even more popular.
Yes, so in Jamaica, the music, the Bob Marley's music, it was something that resonated around the world. People liked let's say, the anti-government messages that were there, the messages of love. Everyone around the world resonated with that, and this is why I would say that it became a phenomena. Nowadays, the tone has slightly changed, right? But I would say that because also society in general is changing. So we have different types of music now. The lyrics are a bit different. It's more electronic. This the music. It's I think people still remember those days, and they. It still plays a role, right? That the music.
When it comes to the old music, the reggae, it was also quite closely associated with the Rastafari movement. This is a movement that I think a lot of people in the West have heard about, but I'm not sure that they completely understand what it is really about. Do you think that Westerners understand what Rastafari is?
I would say definitely not. It's something that you have to be really a part of to understand, and there are also like different ways to, let's say, practicing it. It's not like a one set of rules that people adhere to. It was from Jamaica, and Bob Marley definitely put the Rastafarian movement on the map. He brought it into a global thing. With the dreadlocks, the marijuana smoking. So these are
Is it often that people in the West, they somehow conflate Jamaica with Rastafari in general, because it's not like every Jamaican belongs to the Rastafari religion or movement?
Yeah, unfortunately, it's like this because the people associate Jamaica with Bob Marley, so then they would assume that everyone not just looks like him but also acts like him. So there is.
What would you think percentually? How many people in Jamaica do you think would self-identify as belonging to the Rastafari movement? Are we talking about 1%, 5, 10?
So the thing is that a lot of people might say that they associate with this lifestyle, but
in reality,
they might not count towards that statistic. But I would say perhaps maybe like 10%. It's not that big of a phenomena.
And technically, it's a religion, really.
Yes, that they have their customs, their ways of their outlook on life. It's mainly like an outlook on life, right? Of life philosophy. They don't process things. For example, it's more natural way of life. They're not into alcohol. Just keeping the body pure.
And in Poland, when people hear that you are from Jamaica, what would they usually associate the country with, or which person would they ask about? what are their first thoughts about Jamaica, so to say?
Yeah, so nowadays it's more Usain Bolt, right? Would be the first thing that comes to mind. But yeah, back in I guess Bob Marley would be the second most common that they would ask about, and
Yeah, he's not been with us for many years, but his legacy certainly lives on. Thank you very much for coming and sharing your knowledge with us.
Thank you.